to my truck. Today is June. I don't know. I'll put the date right here. I don't remember what the date is, but today is Friday. I ended up taking a day off of work yesterday. I used some sick hours that I had. My upper and lower back went out yesterday. Woke up yesterday just in extreme pain. The only thing I could think of was that I slept on my stomach, and then I woke up and I was in a lot of pain. So anyway, so I just took some sick hours yesterday, and I spent the day with the family, and then last night, we had some really, really bad storms in the state of Michigan, and they lasted until 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. And that's been pretty much the theme with storms this year, is whenever they're severe or we have tornado watches or warnings, they've been happening at nighttime. So I was up pretty much camping out last night to watch and make sure nothing bad was going to happen. My house wasn't going to get blown apart into smithereens. So I was up until about almost 1 o'clock in the morning. And then an hour later, my husband comes bursting in, wakes me up, and says my oldest son is bleeding everywhere. Bleeding. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you guys. Key word here is use like certain phrases and don't use other phrases if you wake somebody up in the middle of the night. And one of the words that you don't
is bleeding everywhere. The sentence is bleeding.
So, I don't know. With the storms and my husband waking me up in the dead in the middle of the night, I am pretty exhausted today. Today is also my weekend with my daughter. My ex-mother-in-law is going to be dropping her off at my work tonight. I have to work extra hours tonight, so instead of getting out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I will be getting out at 7 o'clock because I wanted to be with my daughter this weekend. So my boss had to like split my days up in order to make a 25-hour work week, but I guess it was pointless because yesterday I ended up taking sick hours, but it is what it is. Anyways, so I'm just sitting here. I woke up. I was completely out of K-Cups. I totally forgot to buy coffee yesterday. I didn't go grocery shopping yesterday, but I still have a percolator. Like, it is gorgeous out. Bad lighting, but it's morning time. Today is I want to say today's June 13th. Today's Saturday. Today is my first Saturday off I've had in 3 months to spend with my family. And today was supposed to be an old glorious day. It was supposed to be a great, fun day. I ended up getting sick on Thursday. I woke up Thursday morning and my whole entire upper and lower back was completely out. I was in a lot of pain. It lasted all day long. Friday morning I got up and I had to go to work. I was still in pain. I was kind of contemplating on whether I wanted to go in or not. But I went anyways. I got to work and I get pulled into the office by my 2 managers. And I thought, because for a really long time now, me and my boss have been talking about me becoming assistant manager, because the assistant manager, we have 2 assistant managers, a back room assistant manager and a front room assistant manager. The front room assistant manager wasn't doing good, and she didn't like the way she was doing things and things like that. And so we had nonchalantly been talking about it. So I assumed, and I thought that's what it was. Like, I thought they were going to give me, like, the good news, you know. No. A customer had called last week and made false accusations against me. They not only called my boss that's in my store, but they went up and called regional, which is pretty much like the big boss, like the biggest of the biggest. they made a really big effort doing this. They said that it was very strange. They ended up receiving 2 phone calls, and that they're not sure if it was the same person continually calling them, but whoever it was very adamant about trying to get me fired. Since they didn't really know what was going on, and they didn't know if the accusations were true, they didn't know exactly what had happened. Firing wasn't something that they wanted to do, but they had to do something. So they ended up demoting me from my position of manager down to just a sales associate. So didn't start my summer off good. I have a really bad headache today. I have a sinus headache from crying yesterday. I had to work a super long shift yesterday too, which was ironic. I had to be there an extra 3.5 to 4 hours because I had to make up hours this week. So that was really, really, really annoying. Happened to be there extra hours with everything that was going on. I'm just keeping my hopes and my prayers up that the Lord leads me into the next direction. My youngest is really sick right now. He's having some sort of rhinitis right now and allergies. I woke up this morning just like swallowing. You can hear him sneezing. So I have a bunch of stuff coming up this week. I have to go to a neurologist with my husband. I have some appointments I have to do with my kids. They are on summer break. This is their first official week of summer break. I'm spending time with my daughter today, and I'm trying to just bury this all in. I also have PMDD going right now. That does not help me. It makes everything worse than what it is. It makes everything more dramatic. So I don't know why this cup, it's the Chevy cup, but it's only on this side. That's probably why they got rid of it. He is going to be 4 months old. Yeah, 4 months old. June 29th, so in a couple of weeks. He has his first vet appointment on the 1st of July. My knee just cracked. I have to go an hour away from my home today for work. My kids are really upset. I really, 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 really don't want to go. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do any of the things I have to do today. I'm still kind of in limbo right now with my job. So I'm going to get myself together. I'm going to go to this event. That's what it is. It's an event for work. And I'm going to power through. It is a gloomy, rainy day, as you can tell. So, I didn't go. I'm at a job interview right now. Well, a job interview is in 30 minutes, but the people that I'm going to, the job interviews that I'm going to, them themselves are like, what? They are like, that is really, really sad. I just thought about it over the weekend, and with my heart feeling so heavy about going back there and facing them and facing the regional people, I just couldn't do it. A huge decision this morning, and I kind of jumped.
Okay, 3.
All right, what did you get?
2. Oh, I got the Grimmys! That's the rare one.
Cool. Sitting here waiting on my youngest son and my husband, so I thought I would just chat a little bit about what has been going on the past couple of days. So, got some really good news yesterday. It was, the way it happened, it was just so wild to me. Like, it was insane how it all just panned out. I guess I'm not really going to be able to talk about it. I will. I'm going to talk about it here in a minute. So anyways, we're at a different place now. Had some errands we had to run today. So yesterday I was really, really bummed out about everything. I already explained I was going to job interviews and whatnot. I didn't really expect to land anything yesterday because it was Sunday. Sundays are like the hardest day to get a job. But I was really bummed, so I went over and I stopped at my mom and dad's house, and I kind of just sat with them for a while and kind of just like talked about everything. And I ended up getting a phone call, and it was from the last and the most least expected place I thought that would call me, and it was Target. It was actually Target. To say I got the job. I start tomorrow at Target. Pretty cool. Okay, so I'm on my first 15. Today is going pretty well, besides just a lot of little blips here and there. It's mostly just like technology right now. They're having a lot of issues with like their computers and stuff. And I didn't realize that we get a lunch break. So I have nothing to eat. I drank a crap ton of water before I clocked in, and I ended up getting up to the office and I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. So other than that, it's just, yeah, it's been going pretty good today. I am literally the oldest one at orientation. Kind of expected that to happen because of the fact there's a guy like struggling with his son right now. I totally forgot what I was talking about because, yeah, so I'm like the oldest at the orientation, and I got instantly bummed out. But like I said, I kind of suspected that to happen because, like I said, this is a seasonal position. This is just to get me through the summer. I probably will end up continuing to look for a permanent position. I don't really have a lot of options right now. I have like no options. I've been searching and searching and searching, and I've had nothing. Nobody's really bit, the bait. I ended up not getting the job at the one interview that I went to on Sunday. It was a really, really nice girl, but she did say that they usually do keep applications on file for a year. So she said, things change, people quit. She's like, it doesn't always work out. So she's like, there is a chance, but that position was also seasonal. And they weren't actually paying that much. That's why I initially just had gone with Target. There was my old position that I was going to take, which was basically being a housekeeper again. It sounded promising. I went in there Sunday morning, and then just out of the blue, I didn't hear anything back from them, and they never contacted me. It really stunk. I was really sad about that. I don't know if something happened and they ended up getting wrong information or something, but nothing ever happened with that either. Alright, wow, my hair is crazy right now. We are at the appointment for this guy because he is getting his, well, he's not going to be getting anything really checked today. He's not getting his spine taken out. He's going to be getting some imaging done for his brain because he's doing that on purpose now. He stopped it on his own. Whatever. His arms and his legs shake uncontrollably, and we don't know why. And it's been going on since the beginning of March. So that's why we're here, and that's what my day holds. you hear any strange noises in the background, it's this dog that's like 5 or 6 houses down from me. She has 2 like little pit bulls. They're not even pit bulls. I think they're like boxers or whatever. And they're so annoying. They bark at nothing. There's literally nothing. I'm going to wrap this vlog up, but I wanted to wrap it up with a bunch of confusion. So let's do it. This vlog was all over the place. I've rewatched it so many times because of editing, and it's all over. Man, June of 2026. Whew, what a freaking doozy. I wasn't even recording. I wasn't recording at all. No, I wasn't recording. So last week I was talking to you guys about my job at Target. You guys know where this is going. You know where it's going, and you're probably...
What?
So when I initially got the interview with Target, when I was on the phone with her, it was great. Like, my interview was awesome. It was so cool. I was like, this is a godsend. It has to be. She told me my hours are going to be anywhere between 15 to 20 to 25 hours a week, which basically was my old hours at my old job. Great. Awesome. And they were going to pay me 75 cents more than what I was getting at my old job. So I was amped. I was like, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do it. You know, whatever. I went to my orientation, got there, and they ended up giving everybody their schedules on their very first day. They set my schedule down in front of me. Now I'm expecting to look at this schedule and see at least 3 to 4 days a week. One day. A maximum of 2. She looks at me, automatically looks at me and says, that'll change in a couple of weeks. You'll be able to pick up more shifts on your app if somebody calls off. So meaning that I wasn't going to get more hours I wasn't going to get them by HR. They were literally just going to be hours that I could just get, like, all willy-nilly. If somebody called in or somebody didn't want to work their shift, and it's on the app, like it's on the Target app, and you have to be really fast, because if you're not, somebody else is going to click that. They're going to take those hours and you're SOL. So I'm massively confused. I'm like, that's not what we talked about during my interview. And I was like, and I literally just kind of walked away from 2 other opportunities for this one. This constantly happens to me, you guys. I literally do this all the time. I'm so bad when it comes to jobs. I don't know why I have bad luck. Sometimes I hit gold, sometimes I don't. And most of the time I don't. So now I'm frustrated. And I'm like, okay, this is not going to work for my family. This is not going to work for me. On top of the fact that I worked 30 minutes away from my home. We all know gas prices are high in America. So now I'm scratching my head. And I'm like,
What the freaking crap am I gonna do? Like, what the freaking crap am I gonna do? What the freaking crap am I gonna do?
So I get home, I talk to my husband. He's like, just tough it out. Let's see where this goes. Blah, blah, blah. You're right. Let's do this. I'm going to tough it out. So I end up going to my next day, and it was my second day. And it was easy. Like, the job is easy. It's not hard. That's the clip that you guys saw. The person that was training me looks at me and she says, when's your next day in? And I said, 6 days from now. She was flabbergasted, and she thought I bet $5 she probably thought that I was making it up. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I don't really quite understand what's going on. So they kind of were like trying to stay positive. They're like, oh, it's going to change, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, it's not. I said, because HR told me that I have to pick days up, meaning I have to do it myself through your guys' app. I'm not going to like get days. She's not going to add more days on. I went home that afternoon pretty. And let's not forget that it was also a seasonal position. There was that as well. And now I got told my hours were basically none. Discouraged. More like pissed off. Let's just call it as it is. Later on that afternoon, my husband ends up getting a phone call. He's like, hello, you know, gets on the phone, is stoked. He was like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. I was like shoving him out the door, giving him all the gas. Like, I'm like, go for it, do it. So he ended up getting the job. But we were still in a conundrum because Target was in the background. The biggest issue with Target was poor communication. I ended up calling them and calling them and calling them. I was trying to contact them. I'm trying to save my job. I'm trying to figure stuff out. I'm like, what can I do? Like, how do I fix this? I want to let you guys know, blah, blah, blah. Nobody is responding to me. Nobody's calling me back. They're just saying, they're passing the buck. Like, they're just passing my message on to the next person. I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, okay, this is really bad. So yesterday, I finally got a hold of them. And, well, technically I didn't. Again, they passed the message. Yesterday afternoon, as I'm hanging out with my kids, I have my daughter this week. We were just kind of having a blast. They were doing all their stuff. I get this random phone call from Human Resources. It's like this long voicemail. Basically, to wrap it up, saying that, no, I wasn't allowed to switch my hours. And if I didn't show up this morning, that I was basically a no-call, no-show. And that's just how it was. There was no solution. There was no communication. There was no trying to figure anything out. There was no grace. There was no nothing. It was basically just, you either show up for your job today or you're out. That's pretty much about it. I had been trying to contact them for 4 days. 4 days I've been trying to contact them to figure this out. But that's how jobs are nowadays. It's like, it's a dog-eat-dog world when it comes to jobs. Like, if you get a job, you better hold on to it if you really want it. If not, they are totally ready to let you go and let the next person in line have it. There's people lined up for jobs right now. It's like, it's insanity. So, unfortunately, Target didn't work out. I tried. I really tried. And it's sad because for 5 or 6 years I've been trying to get in. That's the end of this vlog. Hope to speak to y'all again soon. This water, by the way, don't like pass this up if you're at your local Dollar Tree. I used to pass it up all the time. I was like, whatever, it's just a knockoff. This is giving me Evian vibes. Okay, I'm done. Bye-bye.